No, we made time. Which one is your
That's the one you lost your religion. Oh, I almost lost my religion on that. It wasn't printed correctly.
Hey, you found a new one, right?
No, I had to go over
There's something to show it off. Yeah, right.
That's what even the end. I got so tired.
I got the tablecloth at the bottom. Did you want to see that?
Too much. I have them.
It's 110 inches.
Senior altar cloth.
The three of them over there at the church.
This is her.
New one. Yeah, Judy printed it.
Beautiful.
You'll be telling me about it.
Oh, good.
You tell me about it when you... Okay, I tell you about it. Okay, we started?
Okay, go.
Okay, go.
Oh, what did you get for the present?
This is a Colochi pattern. That's 110 inches long for a dining room table.
How long did it take you to make it?
Off and on about 4 months it took me to make it. It's the new permanent press material.
Where'd the pattern come from?
Judy brought this back from Europe, and she put it on for me. I purchased the tablecloth locally, and Judy put the pattern on for me, and it took me about 4 months to do it. Show yours.
We got another one.
I didn't know who you were, and now I know what you want. Let's hold it up. That's your sister's.
Well, where's the maker of this?
Betty Bochi, right?
Get
there.
over here.
Get over here.
Stay here too, but we want the maker here. She's trying to be in the background, huh?
I don't want to be here.
Okay, can you tell us about this one?
Well, this I happened to purchase in Hungary, in Budapest, but I didn't know how to use the colors because I wasn't familiar with any of the villages. So when Irene from Hungary came to give us instructions, she made a diagram to tell me to use in what color and what, and the way you hem it. And this is just all two colors in this one village that they use, this Busantai. Is that correct?
I don't know exactly how you pronounce it. How do you pronounce it? Bujak? Bujak.
So it intrigued me with the hearts, and this is why I wanted it with just two colors instead of the Kolachai.
How long have you been embroidering here?
Well, about 6 years, but this was one of my first projects that I made because I came back from Hungary in 76, and then the woman came about in 78, and I was kind of anxious. So it's about 8 years that we've been embroidering. So we started at St. Stephen's and that just continued on here.
how did St. Stephen's start?
Well, we sponsored with Calvin United and St. Stephen's. We sponsored the woman to come here, and she gave us a crash course. But all the instructions were in Hungarian, and we had many of them that didn't understand one word of Hungarian, and we were trying to break it down to how to do it.
Why did you start the club?
Why did we
Start the embroidery club?
Well, we are of Hungarian heritage, and I always liked embroidery and handwork. And when we went to Hungary, we were more intrigued with it, and we wanted to start to do something and not to forget what our grandparents did. Because my mother was American-born, but she did some embroidering. But we wanted to keep tradition and Hungarian church and neighborhood. So,
Are you still learning it?
we're trying to perfect it because the colors, we were a little mixed up with different colors in that, and so we kind of studied it. But we just keep going, and it's like a guild to keep together, to stay together. And
More social. It's a club.
More social.
For sociability, really.
Big design here. Okay, we'll talk a little bit about how long you've been embroidering.
Fourth year? 5 years.
You all started together?
Yeah, just about.
Any relation here?
No, mother and daughter.
You both learned the Hungarian embroidery at the same time.
She does better than I do.
Why did you want to take it up?
I love to sew, and this really caught my interest. And we've taken some embroidery in high school and that. My mother didn't sew, so I really wanted to. I didn't want to go by myself, so I said, why don't you come along? And she just really got into it. So now we both faithfully come. I just love it. It's so pretty because you don't have to exactly use the reds and the greens and the whites that are Hungarian colors. Like this happens to match my living room, peaches and blues. You can do anything you want to do with it. So I really like that.
Well, this was my first one that I did. Now put away, because I'm really proud of that. And this is my apron that we made. She made the design for me, the flowers and all that. Then we didn't go exactly to the colors that you're supposed to. We picked our own colors. And that's...
Now, you said you like to sew. Is there anything else that brought you here? Why this embroidery?
We go
This
to
is
this
our
church.
heritage.
This is our
We are
church.
Hungarian, so that drew it to us more. And this is our church.
Thank you very much. How about you?
Well, I'm making a mixer cover that I have, and I enjoy sewing. It's different, and it's interesting. So I'm making a set of these for the mixing bowls, or the mixer and the toaster and the blender and all the covers. And Judy made the pattern on there. I bought the unfinished, and then she put the pattern on, and then I did the outside and the embroidery on it.
Why do you come?
I enjoy sewing, and I enjoy this kind of sewing. It's different than your other sewing. You have a lot of satin stitches and stem stitches, but it's time-consuming, but it's beautiful. It's a little different. You don't see too many satin stitch work like we do here. Usually it's just here and there and some embroidery work, but here most of it is satin stitch.
Why did it take you so long to pick this up? Are you Hungarian?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And I'm trying to keep the tradition going. And I'm the only one in the family so far that's keeping it going, and I enjoy to keep up with it. It's really a nice pastime, and I enjoy doing it very much.
Thank you.
I'm great, and I look out and say, oh, get up at 10.
Okay. Back again. Do you live in the neighborhood?
No, we used to, but no, we haven't for quite a few years. We don't live that far from here, but not from the neighborhood. We're not right in the neighborhood, no.
I'm originally from the neighborhood, married and moved away, but I keep coming back.
How about you? You still live in the neighborhood? No.
That's all right, Rosemary, you can get it.
No. Could you sit down a second? I would like you, when I come to you, I'd like you to talk about the altar clause.
Oh, okay.
I'll just come down that way, and Mrs. Cindy, could I borrow you for Easter there over a year ago, 84 Easter. They're beautiful.
I was supposed to get pictures of it, but nobody ever gave me a picture as yet.
Okay, so if you can just sit down here, and then we'll come around and I'm counting on you.
What am I supposed to do now?
Be yourself. No. Talkative. And you're talkative. And you're talkative?
Not too talkative.
Okay. I'll make you. And you look talkative. Yeah.
Then you're going to put this in the jar. That would be like this shape here.
Are we rolling? Okay.
Because you're doing it right with this color. Because of paprika's colors are always a dark color.
Are you now?
Try to make your
there's some
flowers as whatever natural colors that they should be. But the paprika leaves are really the dark green. Okay. This is gorgeous here. This is very pretty. You did that perfect with the brown in there, with the beige in the center. And your edges are perfect, just perfect.
Judy, how long have you been doing this, and how did this group get formed?
We started this in 1977 when Irene from Budapest came. Father Hernati had invited her, and we had two classes started, one at St. Stephen's and one here, which was in 1977. Then after she went back to Hungary, she came back again in 1978, and we continued our classes. Then when she went back to Hungary, well then the girls wanted to continue their classes here. And since then, we've been having our classes since 1978.
Was there ever any embroidery, traditional embroidery in the neighborhood before this?
No, not that I know of.
Why?
I haven't. There wasn't anybody that would organize it that had the patterns. When Irene started to bring her patterns, and then she left some of the patterns and were used, and then the patterns were torn from being usage, and since then I had been going to Hungary, and every time I go, I always replenish the patterns. I'll buy them there in Hungary each time that I go. And I also bring back material, books, and any information on the embroidery that we find in Hungary. We bring them back to the girls.
Why do you keep coming back to do this embroidery?
Because we enjoy it, the fellowship and everything. It's really
Okay, we're here going to talk about the house blessing traditional poems you have here, and this is a
Házi áldás. A hol hit, ott szeretet. Ahol szeretet, ott béke. Hol béke, ott áldás. Hol áldás, ott Isten. Hol Isten, ott szükség nincsen. Now translate. House blessing. Where there's faith, there's love. Where there's love, there's peace. Where there's peace, there's blessing. Where there's blessings, there's God. And where God is, there's no need for anything. Okay?
Why don't you have it translated again if you can?
Could you translate it again?
In Hungarian or English?
English.
English? House blessing. Where is there faith, there's love. Where there's love, there's peace. Where there's there's peace, there's blessing. Where blessing, there's God. Where God is, there's no need.
Are there any other traditional poems in the neighborhood?
Well, at Easter time, when they go sprinkling, you know, the boys always have a verse. And they say, Hawak namoy viraksal, elakar hervadni, elyotin pekvrishitani. And then they sprinkle the girls, you know, and they get a little something. They go on. Some of them have a little different poem.
There's a different version that
Yeah.
we know. I had two brothers that went out Easter Monday, and their version was Tenapesta, Yatumaketjebe, Latamet Zeproja, Okart Elhervan, Sabad Meglochome. That's last night I walked in your garden and I saw a rose that was wilting. May I sprinkle it? So, and then they just had their fun sprinkling.
The flowers seem to be a pretty important motif here.
Yeah, really.
I have Easter basket cover. We take the baskets to church on Saturday, Holy Saturday, with food. And a lot of the girls have made covers to put on the baskets. This was done in '79, and so was this one.
Are most of them handmade in the church? That people bring their own?
The girls have a lot of covers here, and there are a lot of real old covers that I have seen in church since we started the class. I have seen covers that I would assume are good 30 and 40 years old. You can tell that they have brought them perhaps from Hungary or made it as young women, and they show up now. And with the women doing more of the embroidery, we see more of the younger women showing up with the handmade covers. Yes.
Did you learn embroidery recently, or is this something you...
I have always done handwork. In fact, I have some work that my grandmother done that when she came from Europe. She came from the area of Transylvania, which is now part of Romania, but she is Hungarian. And she has covers that I have inherited that I carry on. I try to give her color patterns into mine also now.
So unlike some of the women here, you have always done this kind of embroidery.
I have always done embroidery, but I learned the Hungarian embroidery, like Judy said, in '77 when Irene came from Europe. Yes.
That's when it really got started.
That's when it got started as a church group, and as in the neighborhood we tried to carry on the traditions, especially with the younger women. We try to carry on the Hungarian embroidery traditions and pass it on to our daughters and granddaughters, wives, mothers, etc. Yes.
Tell me about your altar cloth.
The altar cloth that I made, I was commissioned by the priest at St. Michael's. My mother-in-law was a member at St. Michael's Byzantine Rite, and he asked for altar cloths because Father Hernati had some altar cloths. So I took a sample of my work, and we decided on some patterns, and he particularly asked for the peacocks. He said the peacock is a symbol of paradise. So I had to incorporate the peacocks, and I had to have the 3 cloths, altar cloths, to match. It took me 6 to 8 months to do, to constantly sew on. I bought the material myself, I drew the patterns myself, and I printed it myself. So this was something that I had learned from the lady from Hungary also.
Mrs. Cindy, did you do this when you were younger, this kind of embroidery, or did you just learn also?
We did embroidery here at the church, but I mean, it wasn't none of the Hungarian embroidery. We did a little bit of it. It was mostly learning how to crochet, which is a Hungarian tradition also, crocheting out of cotton thread, not yarn like they are today. They made doilies, centerpieces, and everything, pillowcases. You wouldn't have a pillowcase if you didn't have crocheting on it. You know, that was an important thing.
Why do you think the embroidery, the traditional Hungarian embroidery, was lost in the neighborhood? Why?
I'll tell you why it was lost. The pillowcases were embroidered and with the crocheting. And when you got up in the morning, you had a print of a rose on your face or around your neck or something. And the younger generation was kind of rebellious to this. So they decided that they were going to just take plain pillowcases without the embroidery. Because I know we have a drawer full right now that I'm trying to get some use out of. Isn't that so?
You think that's a legitimate answer there?
Yeah, very good. That's a very good answer.
How about what? Because it may or may not carry.
I can take the print out and we may find out.
What kind of flower do you
Yeah, and I'll try and do it loud or something. Fun with them. Még van rajta? Hát ha nem, ha még megy. Ez csak cutaway. That's all right, csináljuk. Még úgy néz ki, 3 perc. Megy a hang. Nope, nincs semmi rendszer. De most igen. Beep. És csak használszom. Érjük. Használszom. Most már elég